Ricardo Pereira, which is like the guy that got injured, done his
Yeah.
ACL. Um, he's definitely he'd probably be the best player I played with. He's just like yeah, he's like a lot of people say that when I say that to him, but like if you ask any of the Leicester boys, they'd say the same thing. Like he is like unreal, like the stuff he does and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. I'm your host, Leroy, and welcome back to The Insight. But before we start, could you make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any new content that will be coming your way very soon. But without further ado, enjoy the pod. Talk me through to your game day preparation. I talked to Tariq like about his game day. What's important to you for a game day?
Uh, for me, like because in the Premier League, like I think this season we're going to be playing on some mad days in some mad countries because we're in the Europa League.
Yeah,
Like every time's different because like tomorrow, per se, we've got a game at I think it's 7:15 at night, like on a Sunday, which is
yeah.
like you never hear of that. Usually it's Saturday 3 o'clock. So when I was Luton, it was Saturday 3 o'clock, Saturday 3 o'clock, Tuesday night, Saturday night, Tuesday night, Saturday
Yeah.
night, and it's like it was easy to get into a routine. Whereas here, it's like a bit different, and you got to tweak the way you get ready for games. But it's always like relatively the same. Like try and get a good like I try for like 8 9 hours sleep the night before, and then wake up, chill for a bit, grab a bit of breakfast if you got an afternoon game, and then usually have your pre-match meal 3 hours before, and then from then I just chill, like whether it be on PlayStation or on my laptop or on my iPad or something like that. I just try and chill and like not think about the game too much, basically, or I should just at the end of the day, you're just gonna overthink it.
True. When you get in the change room, are you listening to music or are you listening to your own music or are you listening to the music that's being played by everyone else?
Yeah, so on away days, I listen to my own music, like, and just keep my AirPods in
Yeah.
all the time until about 5 minutes to go out to warm up, and then when I'm at home, I listen to the music that's just playing in the dressing room because, like, in our home dressing room, there's a lot more space, like, than in some away dressing rooms, and it's like you can chill and have a laugh with the boys before the game and stuff like that. Whereas when I'm away, it feels like this is more like business time, and I got to focus here because it's going to be a tough match, and it's like try and play some music that's going to get me like feeling good, basically. So
Now, Carl, what type of music are you listening to? Because Tariq's got a different taste. I know Tariq's definitely got a different
as a
taste to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So me, I usually rotate between like a bit of Little Baby, Da Baby, Pop Smoke, Drake, Future, Quavo, Young Boy, anyone like all the American guys and Canadian guys, to be
Why are you not
honest.
listening to the UK guys, bro?
I don't know, man. It just doesn't really hit the same for me, to be honest. Because
Yeah.
when when I'm away from football, I like watching like American football and basketball and stuff like that. So it kind of gets me in that American modes where like I always say like I'd love to grow up in America, but obviously not everywhere in America is that nice as we've seen in the last like year. So,
True.
but um, but it's definitely something that I like to keep an eye out, and I love like the American like the way that they support all of their teams and stuff like that, and it's something that like I've always wanted to experience in my life.
No, for sure. Now going back to football quickly, wh- what's the biggest like differences and lessons you've learned in terms of your game, like moving from League Two to now playing in the Premier League?
I think it's like so physically, obviously, I've got a lot better and in everything because like at Leicester and there's a lot more staff to help you out with things, whereas at Luton there was like maybe two staff for the whole of the team. So it's a lot easier to get attention at Leicester and like filter things to what you need. It's a
Huh?
lot more individual rather than team. And then on the pitch, it's just technical and mental things that like set the difference between the League Two and League One players, between the Premier League. It's just like thinking a few steps ahead and thinking it's just little tiny things that make your game 5% better, which is like the world of difference at the end of the day.
Yeah. How would okay? So who are give me the top 5 players you've played against and the top 5 players you've played with so far.
So played against top 5 players would be De Bruyne, definitely in there. De Bruyne, Mahrez, Rashford. De Bruyne, Mahrez, Rashford. Um, who else is up there? De Bruyne, Mahrez, Rashford. Kyle Walker was so hard to play against as well, just
Why?
because he's so athletic and he just feels like he's going to bully you every time he has the ball. And then the fifth one, probably Jack Grealish, I'd say.
Really? That good?
He's hard to play against, man. He's got top quality, and obviously he's getting his chances now and showing it. But yeah, he's a top player. And then played with, I think I'll give the 3 at Leicester that I think like have wowed me the most, I guess, would be Ricardo Pereira, which is like the guy that got injured, done his
Yeah.
ACL. He's definitely, he'd probably be the best player I played with. He's just like, yeah, he's like, a lot of people say that when I say that to him, but like if you ask any of the Leicester boys, they'd say the same thing. Like he is like unreal, like the stuff he does and stuff like that. Him,
Shit.
like him, Jamie Vardy, James Maddison are the 3 at Leicester that I'd say that are like top quality. Also, Kasper Schmeichel was up there as well, but
Yeah.
I don't really know too much about keeper stuff, so.
Yo, don't kill me. Yo.
And then with England, I'd probably say Mason Greenwood's definitely up there.
So is
Mason
that?
Greenwood's, yeah, he's so good, like off both feet and that, like finishing, like just bagging goals for fun. And Phil Foden's up there. Phil Foden's up there definitely. And who else? I recently played a couple times with Jude Bellingham,
Yeah.
and like he wouldn't be in my top 3 at the moment, but he's definitely got like the potential to be something special. He's a good player for like he's born in 2003. It makes me feel so old. Like he's a special type of player, and obviously he's playing at Dortmund like week in week out, so he must be a good player.
You know what I mean? It's crazy, isn't it? Like,
It's crazy.
I think I was speaking to someone. It was like, they were like, basically our age now, or me, because I'm older than you. Like, we're now like the older guys, because
Yeah,
times
for real.
move so much. It's mad.
Yeah,
No, that's crazy. So obviously I have an advice section at the end of every podcast I do.
yeah.
How do you deal with criticism?
Oh, for me personally, it's easy for me because at the end of the day, I'm my biggest critique in myself. Like when I play a stray pass, when I don't defend as well as as I know I can, then I know deep down in myself, like. But like the thing is, when you get to like this level, like there's a lot of critiques out there, and it's just trying to basically block them out as much as you can, and the people that are going to be right for you are the people at your club and your family that are going to give you constructive criticism, and not just like, Justin, he's rubbish, this, that, and the other. Like, if you're telling me like that I'm not playing well, tell me why I'm not playing well. Tell me how I can improve and stuff like that, so I can make myself better and I can perform better on a pitch. So at the end of the day, I'm my biggest critique, and like I know when I'm doing something wrong. I don't need to be told, really.
No, true. How do you deal with playing when you feel you should be playing?
How do I feel not playing when I feel like I should be playing? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like a big thing for me in my career. So the first year when I went away with England in the summer, I got injured. and I was out for the start of the season, and we started flying in League Two. This was, and we started flying, and I wasn't in a team, and I couldn't get back into the team because the team were winning basically
Yeah.
every week. So a lot of the times I was just chilling on the bench, like to make up numbers, and I thought like that was probably the hardest time in my career, like, and it was just trying to like show in training that I should be playing as much as I can, and obviously training's not going to get you on the pitch at the end of the day. Like you need that chance, like that chance to make your mark on things, and then after I'd say I spent 2/3 of that season on the bench
Oh,
and just coming on here and there, like. But then when I finally got my chance, I took it, and like I never looked back from there really. And it was hard, obviously, not playing and stuff, but you just got to keep yourself ready as much as you can, and like don't like sack the game off because you're not playing. You got to try and, as hard as it is, you got to try and think like you're playing every game. And obviously, it's a hard thing to go into a game that you're starting on the bench
yeah.
and thinking like, oh, I'm fully involved in this game, but it's definitely something that you gotta adapt to.
True. Um, is there anything, oh, is there anything in your career that you would change if you could?
Um, to be honest, there's not much that I could have asked for that would have went better. To be honest, I've kind of got the lucky break wherever it's been needed, like wherever it's been injuries to get me in a team, this, that, and
Yeah.
the other. But like obviously, there's not much. To be honest, there's not much that you can do yourself if you're putting in the hard graft in the gym, on the football pitch, and at home as well. Make sure you're eating and sleeping right, and not acting up like you see so many footballers doing. Like, um, if you're doing that, then there's not much you can really change, to be honest.
No, true. And then obviously, lastly, if there's any advice that you could have for young players coming up who want to take a step into the professional game, what would one piece of advice be?
It's just like, don't get disheartened if one manager says you're not up to standards, because at the end of the day, football's a opinions game, and like you've always got to keep in your head that I'm a good player and I'm going to prove that I'm a good player. Your manager at a Sunday league team maybe that might not think you're a good player, but a team that's in the same league might think you're a team's manager in the same league, sorry, might think you're one of the best players in the league. Like it's just based on opinions, and you've got to find. Obviously, it's hard, but you've got to find the situation that suits you best, if possible, obviously, and then just try and keep your head up in the low moments, because obviously in football it's not always high moments, and I know that. Like, although my career has been like mostly an upward trajectory, there's also low moments in that are involved that some people don't really take into account as a footballer. That it might look like, oh, he's got everything, he's got this, that, and the other, whereas like people can be struggling still, and it's just like overcoming that with like good people around you.
No, for sure. I don't think like your career is like a upwards trajectory because there was times where you weren't playing, you had to change position, had to do well in that position, got injured, came back in the team, got promoted. You know what I mean? So like nothing's ever a straight
Yeah,
line. The destination
for
is
sure.
obviously where you want it to be and where you are right now, but it was a hard road, and there's probably things mentally that we don't know about that you probably went through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But bro, obviously congratulations on the debut Europa League yesterday.
Thank you.
How was that? Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, it was sick, man. Like it's always like obviously we were so close to getting Champions League last year, so it's a bit gutting not doing that. But like Europa League, you're still playing in a European competition against like some of the best teams in Europe. So it's like I was so excited to make my debut in that, and I'm glad we got the win. And hopefully this season we can do well in the competition. That's like one of the top goals in my head for this season, definitely.
No, for sure. Bro, thank you so much for your time, man. As always, it's been good to catch up with you, man. Do you know what?
Yeah,
I
for sure.
think the main reason why I started this is I've had the opportunity to catch up with a lot of people that I may have not spoken to, maybe from Luton times or maybe younger than that. But
Yeah,
I
for real.
think an important thing is that we're all on a journey, but we never stop down to actually ask the next person, like, so like, how are you doing? Or where did you start? Like, and
Yeah,
I think
for
it's
real.
given a different perspective. So, like, obviously, I'm proud of you for everything that you've done and what you continue to do. So yeah, man, keep it
Thank you.
up.
Thank you. Yeah, I will do, bro.
No, no, for sure.
Yeah, been a pleasure, man.
No, no, thank you.
Enjoyed it, Tweef. Yeah, enjoyed it.
Funny enough, I was having this debate with a couple of my teammates. I think it's like, what was it, 2 days ago? And we were just talking about who do I think is the best right back in the world. And I said, for me, Wan-Bissaka is the best right back in the world. Because even though he's not the best going forward, he's not going to concede your goal defensively. And that's me as a player. I'd prefer my player to be solid in the back than to be amazing going forward.